think. 1 second. Oh, we are live now. Oh, we are live. Well, we're back. We did not yet go live, but I guess now we are definitely live. And I'm Harry, who'll be a streamer and commentator, and along with me in the com box will be Alfred. This is the PLR Racing League, and this is the first time there's going to be a PC Tier 1 race. On the platform, PC platform. So this is the first race of the season, and we're going to race in Mexico. Hi, Alfred.
Hello, Ari. Mexico, it's a cool track, isn't it? There's the lap is 4,300 meters or 4,000 or 4.3 kilometers. Sorry, a full race would be 71 laps, but we are doing 50% race distance, so we will only do 36 laps. We are currently in the middle of a short qualifying session where all the drivers are putting their best times in. We have two DRS zones and a really long straight from start line to lift off. At the beginning we have 450 meters, so the drivers will get pretty good speed before braking for turn one. Top speed is around 400 or 347 kilometers, kilometers an hour, and the pit lane travel time is around 17 seconds. So it's not a lot of time lost in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, that pit window actually, have you raced in Mexico before? Because there will be a lot of strategies that will be thrown around, considering it's a 50% race, and since it's the first time on the league, there will be a lot of strategy calls being taken by different drivers. Probably a brave soft to medium, maybe.
That is an option, of course. Then you obviously have to take really good care of your tires, because those two are still pretty quite soft compounds, even though one of them is a medium. They might not be able to last the whole race distance, but some people might be able to pull it off. Some people might even be starting on the mediums. As you can see, we have 4 drivers qualifying on the medium tire compound, which means they will be trying to go for the medium start.
Absolutely, and you can see over here already we are on board the Williams of Brandon L right now. He seems to be coming around his hot lap. He's on 3 lap old softs. I guess he's just putting in some banker laps, getting some miles in, probably a small warm-up session before the race, before he puts in his proper quali lap. And he's been improving since the start of this lap, and he's done a 117.6. But right now, the current pole position is with John Meister, who's right now in the pits for the Ferrari. He's in a 15.6 and a close 600ths of a second difference to the P2 driver, that is JDX for the Alfa Romeos. He's on a 15.686. So that's a very close battle for the top two. In fact, even P3, who's T for real, is right now just 3 thousandths of a second behind a JDX. So that's a very close top three. And yeah, that seems to be pretty close between the top three and from P4 to P6 or 7, I guess. That's again pretty close, within a few tenths of each other. P5 and 6, that is Lunatics and Jensen, are pretty close. They're about 100th of each other.
I will say that Lunatic has done a really good job on those medium tires, putting them in P5 with a 116.2, which is honestly not far off pole position, who is John Meister on the soft compound, of course. So Lunatic might be able to get a really good strategy out of those tires when he can put in such a good lap on the medium compound.
Absolutely, and must be pretty brave to do that. His best lap right now is a 116.2, and he's on a hot out lap right now on the soft, so he's going for a hot lap, and he must be having a lot of pace right now left in him. Let's stay on board him for a lap and see how it goes. Long start finish straight. He's able to get out all of the minimize the distance between turn 1, 2, and 3. making it almost a straight line if possible through the second and third turns. Second DRS zone pretty much quickly. The detection zone for the DRS is at the same point at the penultimate corner for both these DRS zones. So gets through the middle part, the sector 2 pretty cleanly, gets both the apexes perfectly fine, gets a good exit over there, short shifts quickly to all the way to 6th, stays in 6th. That's a pretty brave turn in with 6th gear, but should be getting maximum cornering speed using a higher gear probably. Keeps it clean through the S's over there, gets towards the sector 3, that is the stadium section, breaks really wide, turns in and hits the apex perfectly. Tries to get into second gear and gets the rotation needed for the final two corners, and now on the penultimate corner maximizing the speed, trying to close on the distance and stick to the right maybe and get the best lap time possible. Should put him on pole with a 1:15.1. That's a pretty fast lap, 5 tenths faster than P2. Beautiful lap over there, isn't it?
Yeah, that was really, really tidy. He really put that together. He beat JDX, who just put it on provisional pole, but Arrows actually just came and beat JDX as well with a 1:15.443, which is still 3 tenths of Lunatic. So Lunatic really put in a good lap there. But John Meister again improving, a 1:15.3. Now it's only around 2 tenths to Lunatic, but that's still a pretty good gap for qualifying.
Absolutely. Well, going down the field, P6 is Sushi Trash, and Sushi has probably invalidated his lap going into the pits right now. Let's see if other drivers on track are on laps. And someone over there has retired. Oh, do I see a car that's crashed somewhere on track? Because P7, that chase just lost it somewhere and is probably retired. Not sure where that happened.
I'm not sure either, but we do have a yellow flag in sector 1. I don't know who that's from. Oh, it's clear now. It might just be someone letting other cars
There you
pass. Oh,
go.
him to the right there. Yeah,
I don't know if we caught that, but yeah, pretty close over there. But
yeah,
yeah, there was a car definitely stranded on the right and probably retired due to unknown reasons. We'll have to check later if there was a voluntary retirement or it was some kind of a crash that retired, cancelled him out of qualifying.
yeah.
In the meantime, let's go on board drivers who are on hot laps right now. That is an invalidated lap at the moment. Let's just cycle through more drivers probably to see going into the pits. And we have a driver in P17 who could be, well, looks like an out lap, if you ask me. Is on the medium tires, if you can see over there. And he's on an out lap with the medium tires. Probably gonna try and go for a hot lap after this.
I guess he is letting a car pass there. That is the Red Bull of. I'm not actually sure.
T
Mike
for real.
Alligator.
T for
Oh
real.
yeah, T for real. Sorry, yeah, my bad.
No
Um,
problems.
yeah, that's his teammate. He's letting pass, so T for real won't get blocked on his lap. Even though I think he was on an out lap as well.
Well, I
Uh,
think everyone's
oh,
going into the pits.
yeah, everyone is boxing now, so
Hmm.
nothing we can say to that lap.
I think Dan Walker and the Aston Martin is on a hot lap. Looks like it will go on board. Some slight lockups over there. Goes a little squirmy on that corner exit and could cost him dearly over there. Has a car coming up ahead. Probably his. Oh no, it's a Mercedes of Jonas and not moving out of the way very much over there. Just in time goes off track. Probably that dirty air would have affected for sure because Walker did have to change his line over there and compromise his exit.
And that is a really fast section as well, which means you will need a lot of downforce, which he of course didn't have as he had the dirty air from Jonas
Absolutely.
in front. Oh,
Oh,
he's
and he's
boxing
gone
as
into the
well.
pits. Alright. We seem to be catching the wrong drivers always.
Yep.
Jonas is definitely on a hot lap.
Yeah.
Has just started his lap. We'll stay on board Jonas and see if he is actually on a lap and going into turn one. Take us through the lap, Alfred.
Well, braking really late, of course, with a lot of downforce in the car and turning in, hitting all those three apexes really nicely. Um, Now we have a bit of a straight, reach 8th gear, over 300 kilometers now. We have a yellow flag up here, might just be someone letting him through. Okay, he went straight on. Taking a lot of curb there, Jonas, and nice on the exit, nice and tidy. Turned in pretty early and broke while he turned. Looked to be under control though. Now he's coming up to the really fast SS up here. Taking a lot of curb on the left and then the right, not that much. Not that much on the left there as well. A lot of curb there, and now we are going down towards sector 3, towards this stadium section. Braking just as the curve starts and getting it in. Not quite as much curve as some other drivers we've seen, but he did make up for it there, I think. Took a lot there. But not using the whole track in a lot of places here. He also missed the apex quite far. And he's running wide, which means he might be going for another hot lap. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, he
He might
is.
be
He is.
pushing again. Yeah.
So what had happened over there is in the middle of the SS he had invalidated, and I guess he just decided to go for another hot lap.
Yeah.
So he's probably going at it. But we'll stay on board Jonas. But in the meantime, um, having a look at the drivers above on the top three, out of which two of them are on a hot lap and one of them is on an out lap. Maybe we'll quickly jump onto them and see how it's gonna go. Lunatics is right now on a hot lap. We just saw Jarman Jav just go into P3 with a 115.299, and John Meister just took pole, provisional pole, by almost half a tenth from Lunatics, and he's right now slotted the Ferrari in P1. So Lunatics has his work cut out for him. He's got in purple sector 1. He's definitely showing the pace over here. This could probably be the final lap that these guys have. There's only a minute left in quali, and he has to find about a tenth to beat John Meister, I guess. A tenth and a half to be precise.
Yeah, it seems like the tracks really drop it in, as everyone around here is improving. Of course, everyone on the soft compound as well. Nobody decided to start on the mediums. Yeah, that's interesting. Nobody thought it was going to be worth it. Arrow's not getting out of the way there. That's going to cost a little bit of time. Maybe he'll gain it back in the slipstream here. Although he doesn't have a long time to the line. That is provisional pole position. With a 1:15.038, seems like on my stream.
Yeah, it is a 1:15.038, so definitely a lap to be considered. I mean, he's gone 500s ahead of John Meister, but that's pretty close. They seem to be close in battle for these pole positions, and I think that's the end of Lunatics' quali. He doesn't have much left. John Meister is done as well. Yarmin Yav has just gone a little off track, but hasn't invalidated over there out of turn 3. Going to turn 4, he seems to be on another lap with 2 lap old. Oh, 2 lap old softs. So that is definitely going to cost him in the race, because if he's going, this is his best set of tires, which he's set the fastest lap with. And right now he's on a push lap, I guess. Yes, he is on a push lap,
Yep,
and
he's
he's
pushing.
very close to the track limits over there.
Yeah, of course, really pushing hard here, trying to, of course, he'll do anything to get that pole position. Of course, that is going to really be hard on the tires, as it is his third lap, I think, on the tires, right? Uh,
Probably to check. Let's just check it out. I think, yeah, that is
yeah,
third lap,
that
and he's
is.
invalidated as well on the final
Okay,
corner.
so
That's
that
a
is
pity.
going to upset him a little, because now he just ruined his tires, and it didn't really give him anything, any sort of advantage. So he's going to struggle there. Maybe he's going to be one of the earlier people to box. Let's keep a look on that in the race. it seems like everyone has finished quali now. We have Owen coming into the pits. It seems like, and we have two drivers who retired, which we're going to have to look at. Yeah, quali over there.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I
are you
missed
putting?
I missed the notice that my mic was probably muted, but I was talking about the quali as well. Go on, Alfred.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see the top three here at least. We have Lunatic, who set the pole position in the Haas on the soft compound, 1:15.038. Then we have John Meister with a 1:15.085, half a tenth off. Not a lot. Really close battle probably going on between them. Jarman Jarv in the Williams, 1:15.299. Sorry. And then we have Arrows with 1:15.4. We have T for real in the Red Bull 1:15.5. Willis Jensen 1:15.6. We have JDX 1:15.6 as well. Really close between the two. Uh, D Hill, Dill, I don't know,
Yeah.
1:15.6. Yep. Uh, and then we have Sushi Trash with a 1:15.6. And that is all we are going to do for now because the session is starting, the race session, which we are all very excited for, of course. This is what we are here for.
Yep, we have a few packs in the pecking order. If you notice, the top three seem to be in a league of their own at the moment. In fact, the top two seem to be in a league of their own in quali. They were about 2/10 or 3/10 off the rest of the pack. So that'll be something to see if it is going to convert into race pace because I've seen a lot of drivers who've had a lot of quali pace, but come race pace, they don't seem to have the consistency to keep it up there. And also, we have to bring into consideration the luck you have in these races. Sim racing has some luck involved, and if you're going to have incidents on lap one, then it's going to cost you dearly throughout the race.
Yep, if it of course is a 36 lap race, so it's going to be a long one around the Mexico City circuit here. We're starting off with the formation lap. Everyone is going to weave a lot on this lap probably to get trying to warm up their tires. We have Flux and Minus on the hard compound, and we have Sayatarun. I think that's how it pronounced. I'm not sure.
Yep.
On the medium, everyone else is on the soft compound. So it's going to be really exciting to see Flux Minus and Sayatarun what they can do with the different strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. Sai Tarun, I'm aware of him from another league, and he's still getting on to terms with the game, but he does have some pace. He's improving at a very steady pace for sure, and he's got to show how he's going to do on this grid as well because a lot of unknown names for me as well. Everyone's new except for Sai Tarun for me. So they are Flux Animus in on the hards. Pretty different take for this race because he's gonna have to get those tires to work, and they won't be up to temperature within the first two laps at least, and he'll be losing some positions. Being P14, he has six cars behind him, five cars on the softs and six cars, including Sai Tarun, who's just gotten disqualified from the session for probably ramming into another car. Must have missed that somewhere.
Oh yeah, I missed that as well. Is he going to be disqualified from the session or just the formation lap?
Just
I'm
the
actually not
formation
sure.
lap. Just the
Yep, that's
formation
what I
lap.
thought as well. That's what I thought as well. So Saturn will of course have a massive disadvantage now. Of course, being on the medium tire, which takes longer to warm up and to make work. And now he can't even put heat into the tires because he is stationary at the grid. So everyone else will be weaving up and down the track and warming up the rears here, coming up to the grid. And Saturn will be on very cold medium tires. He will probably have a really hard time getting that car off the line.
Well then, the drivers have lined up on the grid as we wait for the lights to come on. Well, there you go. Lights on. One, two, three, four, five, and we have lights out, and away we go. P2 gets a better start than P1. Jon Meister gets the first position over there. We are almost four wide down the start-finish straight. We have all the cars battling for positions, trying to select either the inside line or the outside line. Very close over there into the braking zone. And as we see over there, some contact between the McLaren and the Red Bull and the Williams over there. Everyone getting stacked up over there, and the house of
That
probably
is lunatic.
lunatics. Oh my god, he's pushed all
That
the
is
way down.
unfortunate.
to
Yeah, he
P20.
started from pole and now he's P20. That is really unfortunate, but that is what we said. Luck really plays a big part in these games, and we have UBIA with a penalty as well, probably for either making a collision or track. I would say it's probably causing a collision because track limits is too early to have a penalty for now, I guess.
Well, on the other hand, we have the top two who's pulled away. John Meister's pulled a lap, almost a second and a half away from Yamin Yav, and Yamin Yav right now trying to catch up, playing cat and mouse over there for P1 and 2. But close behind, we have Willard Jensen, who is in P3. There is some kind of incidents happening at the back of the grid, as we can go quickly back and see what's happening back there. The Red Bull of Alligator over there seems to have some kind of issues, going very slowly. Flux Animal having a very wheel spinny moment over there, squirming out of the exit of the final corner as well. And down the inside tries to go Alligator, deploying a lot of ERS over there. Both of them having compromised exits. Gets back into the slipstream and tries to just switch lines over there. Flux Animal goes to the inside. The wheel to wheel going into the first corner. He's trying to push him a little wide, braking a little later, going around the outside, leaves just a little bit of space inside. As we have Lunatics just getting pushed over there and
Oh, and
takes out.
he spun out Alligator.
Yep,
That is
he's one out
unfortunate.
Alligator over
That
there.
is Lunatic just going way faster through that corner. That is really unfortunate. Should have probably backed off a little, um, but I'm not. I'm not here to judge that.
Well, nonetheless, Flux Animal gets out a little safer over there, but very squirmy on those hard tires, and he must be forming a train behind him if he's not able to keep the drivers behind. Crick is right behind him, and is possibly suffering a lot with dirty air and probably a damaged wing. No, no damage to the wing. He's just not able to get on terms with the S's over there. He has Brandon right behind him, closely following, making up a lot of time and catching up pretty quickly. Well,
We have a
one thing I know about this track is it is notorious for track limit warnings, and as we can see over there, UP Yaya has gotten 2 sets of penalties already, and some extensive weaving over there by Flux Animal.
Yep, he's of course still on the hard tire compound. Really starting maybe to work now, but of course the soft runners will still be quicker, as the tire is what is it 2 seconds or 3 seconds a lap faster maybe?
Yeah,
Not
about two
completely
and a half
sure.
seconds.
Yeah, yeah, that is a lot of time, of course, in Formula One racing. So he's really going to have to defend hard flux, and he's probably to keep Creepy and Brandon Hill and the rest behind him. We see Lunatic already up into P12 again after spinning down into P20, and we have a DNF from Jonas. Uh, Probably a crash. We have a couple of more penalties. 3 seconds for size round. We see someone running off wide there. Was that Jonas?
Yep,
I think
that
it was
was Jonas.
Jonas.
I'm trying to capture him for the stream. And
Oh, and we have a virtual safety car on the track now, so every single car must slow down and keep the positive delta. They will get a target lap time that they will need to. They can't go any faster than it. If they do, they will get penalized.
well, Jonas has unfortunately DNF'd over there. Will be pushed to the back of the grid. Obviously, no points because only 3 laps into the race. We have a virtual safety car. And we can quickly go through what's been happening. So Lunatics has lost 10 positions, actually went all the way back of the field and has got up back to the middle of the field in the first lap, all the way to fourth lap. Pretty good pace, I must say, if he's able to catch up so much. And I'm not sure about the delta he's having to follow, but he's getting pretty fast over there. But in the meantime, the biggest gainer from what I can see is Redemption 3, who's gotten 9 places from the race start. So he must have started in P17, I presume, and he's up in P8 on the softs. And there's a drive through for Redemption as I was talking about him.
He's
Oh
coming, yeah.
my god,
We
that's.
see, and that is why you really have to keep the delta, because a drive-through penalty is going to cost you about 17 seconds, and that is really not what you want. That is a long, long, long time in racing. So yeah, and we see another 3 second time penalty for track limits for Creek.
Well, there are 2 drivers who've gotten a drive through. There's Redemption and Sai Tarun, both who've done decently well in their lap one uh, endeavors, and they seem to have gained a lot of positions, but now they'll be losing a lot of positions as well. Redemption goes into the pits immediately. Sai Tarun stays out. They get 3 laps to serve the drive-through penalty, and I think Sai Tarun's trying to maximize his time and stay out and get as much as he can from the 3 laps he has to serve that drive-through.
That is a funny choice, as his mediums definitely wasn't completely up to temperature. So I would have probably boxed and let the tires cool completely down, warm them up again. But now he has to warm them up now, and then he has to box and warm them up again. Because of course he can't pit when he does the drive-through penalty. He has to pit some other time, um, and that is going to be tricky to warm those tires up twice. We have Lunatic chasing down Cytron now. Of course, Lunatic on the soft compound, and of course starting on pole, having really good pace, really showing it. Um, he was just P20 a couple of laps ago. Now he is up to P10 already. He has great pace and honestly great race car. We see Cyclone running really much off track there. Didn't give a penalty though, and we see Lunatic sending it down the outside. And that was no problem for the soft rubber.
Well, well, well. So that was an easy position for him. I think Saito not even trying to fight it much because there's no real meaning in him trying to fight that position as he's going to go into the pits for his drive-through penalty. And Owen seems to have just lost a couple of positions and is trying to stick it in down the inside, stays around the outside into turn 2, gets tapped a little, some wheel banging over there between Sushi Trash and Owen. Sushi Trash going wide on the exit of turn 3, slots behind Owen again, and well, that was some racing for P3 if I'm not P4 if I'm not wrong, and Thill seems to have gone ahead and taken that position without much of an issue.
We can actually see Willis Jensen has improved into P2. He's taking Jamin Jav, who was P2 before, I'm pretty sure. They are still pretty close. Jamin Jav really trying to keep up here is really tough with the dirty air through those fast S's, of course, coming down into the stadium section. Pretty low speed area, and then we will be out on the main straight again. Jamin Jav will have the DRS, it seems. He is under 1 second behind, of course. Um, Looks pretty fine. Let's see if he can hit the apex. Yep, nice and tidy, and running all the way wide and opening the DRS up here. And let's see if he can catch Willis Jensen with that, if that is going to be enough.
Well, at the start of the VSC, where the VSC was ending and racing started again, John Mice. Okay, let's stay on this
Yeah,
because I think Yaman Yao is going to send it down the inside.
yeah. Willis Jensen trying to do the old switchback move. Probably not possible through here with the twisty section. This is going to be a nice battle, I feel. Jamin Jav keeping the DRS as he was behind at the detection zone. But just braking really late, missing the apex. He probably went in a bit too hot using off the track there. Let's see if he can do anything about that move that Jamin Jav just maybe this will just be one big DRS battle, forth and backwards. Now Willis Jensen is going to have to chase him through this. Oh, and he oversteers quite a lot of wheels, but they're losing a lot of time, 2 tenths or so to Jamin Jav, yeah. Coming down to the stadium section once again with the DRS wide open and braking hard into the stadium here. And this is where you will normally be able to hear the fans roar. Of obviously 2021 real life, when Checo came in P3, we could hear them really cheering him on. That was a great moment for the Mexican fans. And now we see DRS for Willis Jensen. Is it going to be enough? I think Jarman was closer before, but Willis Jensen is using a lot of ERS. So let's see. Yeah, it's not going to be a difficult move. Of course, Jarman before was not using overtake on the ERS. I don't think he was, at least. It didn't look like it. And yeah, Willis Jensen taking that one nicely back.
Well, you have a point because Jensen used a lot of ERS. In fact, he's almost finished his ERS percentage usage, and his battery is probably running dry. But it's not very tough to regen your battery on this track because Sector 2 is probably the major place where you brake a lot, you're on the brakes a lot, and you're going to be able to regen your battery pretty much quickly, and especially in the stadium section where there are a lot of heavy braking zones. But he still won't have the advantage of battery percentage. I mean, ERS usage over Yaman because Jamin seems to have 55% on his at his disposal, whereas as you can see, Jensen has only 20%, and that's gonna cost him a lot coming the back start finish straight, where I think Jamin will easily pass him without much of an issue.
Yep. We also have further back Dan Walker,
Ooh,
really close to Sushi Track. Oh, Willis is in boxing now.
boxing
Let's
on
see what
Lappe.
tire compound he is going on to. Is going to be the hard or the medium, or maybe even another stint of the softs. I think he will go for the mediums. I'm not sure.
He's
No,
going on to
another
into the
soft.
softs. Yeah.
Yep. And then he is probably going for the mediums in the end. So it's double soft stint. Sorry, I can't talk. And then a medium stint in the end to get everything out of the car.
Well, if that's the case, then I guess he's going to do a soft medium, and he's pulled out the undercut on a very different strategy compared to what the normal, the what do you call conventional strategy would be around this track, which is probably a medium, soft. But
Yep.
he spit very early for another set of softs, and will probably be, you know, checking on the drivers ahead to probably pull into the pits, because now on fresher softs he'll be catching up pretty fast, and that attacking distance, the attacking time will be reducing drastically, considering the drivers ahead are on 9 lap old softs compared to his fresh softs.
Yep. I think the reason he boxed is because he was losing some time in the battle with Jarmanjov, and Willis wanted to get to catch up to John Meister in P1. So he's going to do an early undercut, and we see Jarman trying to defend it by boxing now. Actually, Jarman going into the pit, so
Yeah, Yamin is
he's
in the
just getting
pits.
some traffic here.
And that brilliant outlap from Jensen, I must say, because he's getting blocked by that Ferrari of UP Yaya, and now he's going to be pulling away from Yamin Yav much better than
Yep,
the other driver,
with
I
the
must
DS
say.
as well. Yep, that is a great undercut. Really worked out well. Pulled a pretty big gap to Jarmanjov, almost 2 seconds. That's going to be an absolute game changer.
Yep, so he's basically pulled out of the TRS of Yamin Yav, and that is probably going to be helping him a lot coming because they seem to be catching up John Meister pretty well, pretty fast, I must say, because John was probably losing some time, but now he has about a 9 second, 8.6 second lead ahead. But he's yet to make a pit stop, and if he doesn't make it on time too quickly, he's going to lose some time to these guys behind, or he might probably try to run long, take care of his tires, and go on a one stopper right now.
I think that's what I would do if I was John Meister. I would go for the one stopper now just to try to defend it because I think Willis Jensen and Jarmanjov have got better pace. We can see Jarmanjov actually gaining on Willis Jensen. Um, so his tires are working really well at a pretty fast rate. And here we see Sushi Trash going around the outside of Flaxaminas, who just made a mistake. And fast left from Willis Jensen, 117.5, which is going to be really important for him, of course. He's trying to pull as big of a gap to Jamin Jao as possible. So that is really important.
Well, and as we can see over there, the Alpine of Flux trying to make an overtake on Dan Walker, who just got out of the pits, and he's going around the outside, makes the move. But considering that he's on the hard tires, that's gonna be a little tough to defend if I'm not wrong, because he might have DRS as well, does he? He doesn't have DRS, alright. So Dan might be getting back to him by the end of this lap, and that is gonna. Oh, brakes very late, had to go away over there and almost went into the back of Flux Animus, and losing a front wing would be costing him dearly, and now he has to defend and probably even lose a position to
Yeah,
Dil, who
lost the
is
position to that.
Flux's teammate. Probably team helping a teammate over there, I'm not sure, but that pretty
Yeah,
much looked good over there, because now Dil is catching up to Flux Animus and gets the move on him, because obviously he's on the faster compound of tires and the faster driver at the moment, and now he's going to have to defend from Dan Walker a bit. And as we say that, John Meister has gone into the pits. He's losing P1 and 2
yeah, it's
to
Jensen
Yamin Yav,
ahead.
but he's on 2 lap fresher softs. So I don't know if this is going to help him. And as we can see over there, Yamin Yav and uh, Jensen are probably fighting. Yeah, they're fighting for P1, and Jav just goes ahead. Jarman just goes ahead and stays P1, and now Jensen's P2. A lot of stuff happening over there, and the lap car just getting out of the way.
Yeah, we have Yellow 61, so that might just be the lap car slowing down, of course, to let the leaders pass, which is a really nice move to do. You don't want to interrupt the leaders of the race. That's not cool. But we see John Meister come through the S's here really quickly. Um, Willis falling back on Jarman, probably due to the dirty air. Let's see if they can get this DRS battle up again down the start finish, down the main straight. And honestly, Willis has 27% battery. I think that's going to be enough easily to pass Jarman Jarp, unless Jarman defends with all of his battery, of course. And Willis not getting a good exit actually. Tia is really helping him though, but that might not be enough. I don't think he's going to get past now.
Well, to be honest, I think considering his ERS usage, he should probably stay behind Jarman for the rest of the race towards the end, like to the pit stops, the next pit stops, because they have John Meister who's pretty close behind, and he could. Oh, wait a second. We have a battle over here, wheel to wheel between Owen and Sushi Trash over there. They were probably going wheel to wheel over there, using a lot of ERS over there, but Owen gets DRS because he was a driver behind coming into T1, and now they will be probably fighting for position throughout the lap till the next DRS zone and probably till the penultimate corner. So she would probably stay behind, wait for the start finish straight again, and make a better move down the inside on Owen.
Yep, running on board with Owen here. In P4, we see Brandon getting a 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings of track limits. As you said earlier, the track limits are really tough here around Mexico, so you really have to stay within the lines, and that's not going to be easy. We see John Meister actually really close to Felicians, maybe going to make a move. Is
Yep,
he
maybe.
close enough? I think he might be able to send it here. Yep, definitely down the inside. But it's just he can't do anything about that. Trying to stick it around the outside, maybe. Yeah, nothing he could do there. DRS power is very, very good here. But since falling back even more there, it seems.
Well, Willis is on the oldest set of tires among the top three, and John is on the freshest. And John seems to be having the pace. He's able to catch up quickly, pulling a second gap over there. And as I say that, there seems to be an incident somewhere behind in P7, or probably 8. There was a yellow flag somewhere into turn 1. Not sure who caused it. But yeah, we'll quickly go back to the leaders because that's where all the action seems to be taking place, as John Meister seems to have caught up to Jarman through the stadium section, and he's catching up tenths of a second easily, and Jarman just spins and
Oi,
goes
Charles!
and loses his front wing. Oh my god. That was just sad.
Yep. He was lucky that he did it there and not just one corner later, because then he would have to do a whole lap without a front wing and he would lose even more time. Um, but that means Sushi Trash is promoted into P3 and Owen is in the battle for P3 as well. So the podium battle really is close. Let's actually see Owen here getting really close to Sushi Trash coming down turn 1. Um, twist bits here, Owen with the DRS open. Is he able to? Yeah, it seems like he's going to put the inside. But oh, Sushi Trash very late on the brakes, keeping the outside. That was a great defensive move from Sushi Trash.
Absolutely, and ooh, Owen gets a little squirmy over there on the exit, and he's managed to keep it on track, and he's now gonna catch up again to Sushi. He probably had that move, but had to back out of it instead of causing any kind of damage to each other on the entry of turn 1. But now both of them, one of them going wide, one of them having to cut the corner. Hopefully not. Oh, Sushi seems to have had a penalty already. Let's check the penalty status for the drivers around, and As you can already see, out of the 20 member grid, 20 driver grid, one who's retired because of a DNF, there are only 7 drivers, if I'm not wrong, 7 drivers who have no penalties, and the rest all have some form of penalty or the other. The highest being 15 seconds for Sai Tarun over there in P11, and the lowest being the 3-second penalties. As you can see, P2 and P3, both the AlphaTauris having 3-second penalties.
Yeah, in these league races, we see another penalty there for JDX, actually, also for track limits. In these league races, we see a lot of penalties because every driver really wants to win, so they are pushing to the limits and maybe a little beyond the limits, which is when the penalties come in. And we see actually Owen getting really close to Sushi Trash here as well. Once again, um, let's see them up here in the really fast section. If Owen will fall back because of the dirty air.
Yeah, not only will the dirtier affect them, but they also have similar-ish battery percentages. Sushi Trash seems to be going wide over there every lap. Not sure if that's giving him, warnings, track limit warnings, because Owen gets very close to the diffuser of Sushi Trash over there. Will lose a few tenths over there. If the exit over here is perfect on spot, he'll probably have a move at turn 1, but he's about 7 tenths behind. We'll probably be able to catch up, and we'll have to try a move into turn 4.
And we see Owen actually not using up his battery, saving it up, maybe so he can defend. He might just think that he will get him here up in the next DS zone without using the battery, and then he can defend the battery. I think that might be what's going on right now. Because here Owen, of course, will get the DRS once again to trash in the middle of the track, and Owen really going down the inside this time. Nothing Sushi Trash could do there. Going for the switchback move, but is that going to be a possibility? I don't think it will. And Owen, of course, having way less battery still than Sushi Trash actually, so he's going to have to use it wisely if he wants to defend.
Well, we should go back on to Sushi Trash's POV, because I think he will be catching up again, trying a move down the start-finish straight, because Owen seems to be on a lower battery percentage. As we say, that JDX seems to have retired somewhere on track. If we can quickly go on board and check him out, he seems to have gone into the pits and retired, which means that he might have either had enough of the race. I'm not sure. There's no other explanation I can think of at the moment.
Okay, I think that's gotta be it.
Yep.
Or
So
maybe he crashed on his way into the pit lane. Not sure, but
his car is still exiting the pit lane, which is a little weird,
yeah,
because the AI seems to have brought his car out on track again.
that is a little weird actually.
Ooh, Owen and Sushi again exchanging positions over there. Sushi almost going onto the grass over there. That was a pretty dangerous uh, piece of driving over there, and goes a little squirmy on exit over there on turn 5, 6, and 7. Goes a little wide, gets the exit needed, but Owen seems to be right on the diffuser. They're just exchanging positions every lap almost, and taking some creative lines through the SS, I must say. Pretty brave, I should say, because of the fact that, oh, there you go, Sushi going wide again,
Yeah,
as we've always seen. The wheel to wheel right now, going into the stadium section.
I think Sushi's rear tires might have been a bit too hot with all the wheel spin, and that's going to be a really tricky one to get out of the final corner. Then you need a lot of rear grip here, and he is boxing. I think his tires were pretty much gone on the rear end, and that's why he had so much wheel spin.
Well,
Yeah,
something to consider over there was that Owen and Sushi fighting so much for P3, and Dil just managed to catch up to them pretty quickly, and now has DRS, and he's on medium tires, which are 8 laps old, which means he has a much longer stint compared to the soft runners who are battling ahead of him. And Owen will probably be at a disadvantage. They've lost a lot of time to P2, that is Jensen, because Jensen was not very far ahead, was around 8 seconds ahead of them, but they've lost about 3 seconds in battling each other. Owen and I'm sorry, was it Sushi Trash? Yes, Sushi Trash, who's right now in
yeah.
P11 with halves on. Interesting choice of tires. Hard tires to the end.
So yeah, he's definitely going to try to finish the race in those hard tires. Um, so we can see actually quite a lot of different strategies around the field here, as we see Dill trying to just scare Owen, maybe just showing himself in the mirrors, saying "I'm here, mate," and putting some pressure on him. Of course, racing is a lot about the mind games and concentration. If you suddenly start looking too much behind, you might be losing a lot of time because you're not focusing ahead on the apex stuff. Now we see DRS open here for Dill. Coming up, no worries or no problems around Owen's outside, of course. DRS is super powerful down the straight. Um, yeah, Owen, nothing he can do there. He has to keep up with him now. Owen, of course, being on the faster compound. Although his tires might start to wear down, which means that Dill is gonna have the mediums, which will be able to lap way longer than the soft compound. Dill actually putting a bit of gap there, I think. Might be because of the DRS.
Well, true that, and what can help Owen now is if he's able to stay within the DRS of Dil and get pulled along a little, because that will help him with the strategy battle that he and Sushi Trash are going to be having. Because Sushi Trash is making up some positions pretty fast. He's right now in P10 and he's catching up to Flux Animal pretty quickly. Flux Animal on around 19 lap old hazard. Ooh, tries to go for a very late lunge down the inside but misses it and completely has to rattle onto the sausage curb, which will probably unsettle your car a little too much. And as we say that, need to point out that Vilad's Jensen has pit from P2, will be going on to mediums for the rest of the race and trying to finish on those tires. Loses two positions, but again, they have to pit as well.
Yeah.
Probably another position to Lunatics, who is also on 8 lap old softs. And Lunatics, right now, though it's because he's down a pit stop, he's in P4 already.
Yep, that is pretty fast recovery from him. Of course, starting from pole, but with the incident in was it turn one, I think. Um, he went all the way back to P20. He was spun around, and he is up into to P4 again. Of course, he does have penalties, but so does pretty much the rest of the drivers. Most of them do anyway. Uh, Dill does as well, which means that Owen practically is ahead of him, and there he does get ahead of him as Dill runs wide, um, which we saw. Was it Jarman Jarv who did that as well earlier?
It was Sushi Trash had gone a little wide.
Oh yeah, it was Sushi Chat. Yeah, sorry, my bad. But John Meister really having a nice, comfortable gap, but he is boxing now, so he's definitely going to lose a couple of positions.
He has the gap.
Um,
He has about a 17-second gap to Owen, and Owen and Dil fighting for.
Owen
Oh,
pitted as
Owen's
well.
gone into the pits, so
Yeah. So Dilla's only going to make it past, and I think that will be the only car ahead. Yep, it seems like it.
well, hello and Knock Knock says P3 currently on track, who's Lunatics to John Meister, because John Meister over there, John Meister and Lunatics were fighting position in quali, were exchanging lap times, and now after that first lap incident, Lunatics pretty close to John Meister. What could have and what would have been a good race between the top two, but Lunatics now on a brilliant recovery drive has Jensen right behind him, about 1.4 seconds behind, and Jarman is also close. Was in the lead at one point in the race, about 7 laps back, but had that unfortunate spin on the final turn when he was under pressure from John Meister and went into the wall and lost his front wing. But now he's on 6 lap old softs, has a little more time to go onto the mediums, is trying a different strategy, I presume, and we'll see. We'll have to wait and see where that puts him if there is no safety cars, we must presume.
Yeah, we see uh, Lunatic coming into the pits now on his 10-lap-old soft compound. This is going to be on the mediums probably. Yep, on the medium compound, trying to finish the race on those. Let's see where he ends up coming out of the pits. Owen will definitely make it past him. In the other Haas car, we have a yellow flag in 62. Looks like it's Sush? No, not sure.
That must
Is
be
it
Sai Tarun,
Titan?
who
I
doesn't.
think it was.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, that is the front wing gone. Cutting over here. Getting a penalty, 3 seconds for cutting. And he will be making it into the pits up here for the front wing and probably a medium tire compound.
Well, absolutely, and that's a bad race to forget probably for Sai Tarun. Crick seems to be getting.
Yeah.
Oh, Sai Tarun retires in the pits as
Yes.
well, so
Yep.
probably a bad race for him, I guess. And I think the leaders are coming up on Alligator, and as we see, Dil, who's currently in P1, but is a whole pit stop left, has a whole pit stop left. Probably will be trying to go to the end of the race, that is Dil. Not sure if he can do that though. I don't think that's possible. He will be losing a lot of time if he tries doing that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Sector 1 and
and
2, yellow flag. Who's falling? Is it Dan Walker maybe falling down? No, it isn't. Okay, I'm not sure who it is, but where do. Oh, Redemption,
Redemption.
it seemed like spun around
Yeah,
in
it
the
was a
Aston
lap
Martin.
car of Redemption who was having some issues with tire times maybe, but yeah, first spin causes a lot of a spin in this game gives you a lot of tire temps on the rare tires, and you have to nurse the car for a few corners till you can start driving at full pace again, because the
Yes.
temperatures, tires will be heat heated up to such an extreme. It'll be at around 110 degrees, red hot, no grip. It'll be squirmy even on a normal slow turn, and it'll just end up probably stepping out, and you lose grip and just spin.
Yes. And that is actually pretty realistic as well with with both what I've seen and what I've experienced in real life. Tires, if they get too hot, they are impossible to drive, and they are really hard to cool down again because you have to keep on going. If you slow down too much, you lose a lot of time. But if you don't slow down enough, the tires will stay at the temperature, or maybe even get more hot, and you will spin. And we actually see a battle here, so I'm gonna stop talking now. That is Owen on Dill. Sorry, Dill just came out of the pits on the soft compound, Owen on the 2 lap old medium compound. So that's going to be probably Dill taking that one and creating a gap now. I think his tires are working pretty nicely already, so I think he's just going to fill a gap.
Well, then that seems to have helped Hill a lot because he had the medium tires on the previous stint, and he was doing pretty well. He was catching up and keeping up with these people. And as I say that, there seems to be a retirement somewhere on track for Crick. It's in the It's in the third sector, and we should probably go on board and see if we can catch the driver. And there you go. He was right on the right side. Got him just in time for the stream. So that's Crick out of the session, and I guess there is not going to be a safety car as well for that.
It doesn't look like it. We don't have a yellow flag anymore, so it's probably cleared.
Well, the race seems to be going pretty well at the moment. A lot of things to look out for right now would be probably the battle for P4, but that's going to be pretty straightforward if Lunatics catches up to. Oh, and he's being led by his teammate anyway. So team orders definitely are coming into play. No fighting between the teammates, and Lunatics is going to be going after Dil probably because of the fact that the penalties might be helping out over here. If you can clearly go and catch the penalty situation. Oh,
Yeah.
John Meister has 3 seconds. We have Jensen who has a 6-second penalty. Dil has 12 seconds of penalties, so that's already P3 lost for him. But in the meantime, Owen has 0 penalties and he's sitting in P5 pretty sweet. And we'll have to see how far away he's from the leaders over there. He's about 19 seconds behind, which means that he's about let's say, yeah, he's easily getting P3 right now. If you notice, 6 seconds behind Dil, and Dil has a 6 second penalty as well. So that should easily give him P3, and Owen's probably looking at a podium finish right now.
Bill actually just set the fastest lap time of the race with a 1:16 something, I think it was. Um, and that's just him on his fresh soft compound with, of course, the tire with the car being really light because of all of most of the fuel load anyway has been burned up, so the car has a very low weight, so they can really push with the fresh medium compound.
Well, I'm gonna let
Oh,
the
soft compound.
viewers have a few beautiful shots of these amazing 2021 cars, which we probably will miss after a few years because of the fact that we've moved to new regulations in the real life championship standings. Where the 2022 cars radically different in the way they look. So the 2021 cars are probably the last of that kind of design that we saw with the aerodynamics completely different, a little more complex, I must say, the wing systems, the aerodynamic systems, and well, without any UI going around the final corner, I think it's still whom we're viewing right now. Gonna start the start finish straight right now. 1.2 kilometers, the longest straight, I think, without any kinks. I'm telling this word kinks only because of the fact that we have a pretty long straight without any liftoff in the Baku Grand Prix, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The Baku circuit has a pretty good straight, but then those two kinks that come before the start finish line, those are considered as turns or corners, and hence it's not really the longest straight we have on the calendar. And it's this Grand Prix, the Mexico Grand Prix, which has the longest straight. As I say that, it looks like we have a retirement over there of Chase in Sector 3, as you can notice.
Yep. And he was on fresh
And we
mediums
have a
as well.
safety car. Ooh la la.
Safety car, that is going to be a game change actually. Is any of the front runners going to box for soccer? I don't think they will, honestly. It
John
will
Meister
be
is coming
way
up.
too risky. Yeah, I don't think he's going to box. It'll be way too risky. He is on pretty new medium compound still, five laps old, or 6 laps old in one corner pretty much. But
He is
no,
going.
he is actually box. He is going to box. So it looks like everyone is. Maybe to try and clear the penalty. That might be why.
You can't clear the penalty on the game if you got it for track limit warnings. I don't understand why
Okay,
Dil is pitting.
no, me neither actually. He should. If I was still, I would stay out on the brand new soft compound and take P1 and try to defend it. Yeah, to the rest.
Well, everyone. Oh,
That's
double stacking at the Haas
yep,
pit
yep,
box.
definitely.
So let's see how it is looking from Owen's POV. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yep. Let's see here, looking nice. Owen has to park up there and loses maybe 2 seconds, I think. Just around that. And that was pretty slow off the line, it seemed like. Not sure. It didn't seem way too fast. Maybe had some issues with the clutch, dropping that. Coming out here in P8. That is tough. John Meister stayed in P1, and we have Felix Jensen in P2 now on, and Dylan P3. All three drivers on brand new soft tires.
Well, look at where Yamin Yab and Lunatics are. Jamin is on P4 with 3 lap old mediums, whereas Lunatics is up in P5 with fresh soft. So he's gonna get a couple of positions for sure, considering the fact that he has the pace over here.
Yeah, Lunatic definitely going on the soft time compound, thinking that he does have the pace to regain P1 over the next couple of laps. Although it's not a long race from now, we only have 7 laps left, and we still have the safety car, and a lot of cars need to catch it before we can start. Alligator is 40 seconds behind, 41. He's losing time to the safety car.
Well, we started with 20 drivers, and ooh, a driver going pretty wide over there. I don't know why he's giving up the positions over there under safety car. That's a pretty risky thing to do on the 2021 game, considering the fact that it gives you a lot of messages. The safety car, under safety car, it glitches out if you do these kind of position swapping. So that would probably tell that he's out of the race. But I don't know. Arrows has, oh, and he should not be doing that, and he's done it.
That is definitely not
Well,
in real life. I don't know if you can do that in the game.
sorry, I can't really hear you over there.
Oh, sorry. I don't think he got penalized for that actually.
Well, the point is, it's not about him being penalized, but I think his intention over there was to serve his drive-through, which he's gotten under the safety car. If you can notice that there, in P11
Oh
now
yeah, yeah.
arrows, he's going to lose some
I can
positions.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so his intention must have been to serve the drive-through, but then you can't serve the drive-through under yellow
No,
flags or under the safety car.
no.
So
So
he,
that's unfortunate. I was losing a lot of time there.
yep, he's lost a few positions over there as well. Got onto fresh softs. That's not going to be much of a problem, but going back to what I was trying to point out, we started with 20 drivers. We've had 5 DNFs, and uh, the rest of the drivers, among the 15 drivers, only 2 of them have managed to keep it clean. And as we see, their arrows getting a little squirmy, but nonetheless, going back to what I was telling, P6 and P7, that's Dan Walker for the Aston Martin and PLR Owen for the Haas team, have gotten no penalties as of such. They seem to be doing a pretty good job right now, keeping the track limits under check, track limit warnings under check. But the rest of the grid, tons of penalties, I must say. Like, look at that. John Meister, the only one on the minimum uh, number of
Sushi, Sushi is also on.
penalties. But as we say that, the safety car is going in this lap. John Meister very close to the safety car, might experience some throttle cutting. It might not let him go full throttle over there. And as I say that, lights out and away we go again. John Meister
It's
going to
just
be under
that.
pressure from Jensen. Going for
Yeah,
Alfred.
Just using up all of the battery he has, turning it off there at 50%, and John Weiss trying to steer it around the outside. That worked out flawlessly. Willis Jensen spins as they just have a little bit of a touch. It seemed like that was purely racing incident, if you ask me. Don't think that was intentional by any of them. Just that stuff happens when you are racing wheel to wheel, and that is really unfortunate for Willis Jensen.
Well, out of my experience as being a steward in another league as well, in a couple of leagues, I must say that one thing a sim racer, the one main difference between sim racing and real life racing is sim racers are very conscious and demand their space on track. They need that space on track because it's, you don't have much to look around, you don't have much of a POV to watch,
No.
and using those proximity arrows, you're expected to give um, a lot of space. And as we say that, let's quickly jump on to this battle over here for P3. Yaman and Lunatics right now battling. Oh, another safety car. There seems to
That
be
is
another safety car. I've missed
that's
that
Team
completely.
Marine who's out.
I don't seem to be able to check where this is. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
everyone stopping up again. What's that? Oh, I think he might have overtaken him illegally. I'm not sure. But we have Sushi with 5 second time penalty. I think he tried to clear his drive through again.
Ah. Oh my god, this is gonna be a
Oh, that is
mix-up. An expected
Brandon got him.
mix-up, I must say, because of the fact that the game must have seen them. Like I said before, in the under safety car, the game is very sensitive. It seems to bug out very easily. So if you go wheel to wheel or you try to overtake, it automatically tells you to give the position back, and then it does some. It gives you some wrong instructions, like the driver ahead is out of the race, pass him, or it tells you that give the position back. Now you see both of them are trying to give positions to each other, and at the end they have to compromise, and now that's costed a totally not connected driver to that situation to lose his front wing in the form of Brandon L, who still seems to be going wheel to wheel with the McLaren, and now doesn't have the wings to break in time and gets a 10-second time penalty.
Everyone seems to be complaining. I don't know what's happening.
I have no clue what's happening over there. Redemption went straight off the track and swiped off. Basically had a spin moment over there probably.
Yep. And we have now the biggest penalty
Oh,
is for Brandon Elbow 28. What happened there?
I think he lost his again hot tires. So Redemption is
Yeah.
just not able to keep it on track. I wanted to point out something, considering the fact that Sushi Trash was on spot to be P3, he was fighting for P3 with Owen. but then seemed to have gotten caught out by the safety car. His progress got cut out. And now the second safety car is not helping him as well, and he's in P11 now. Look at the luck over there. They both
Yep,
seem to be going into the pits.
yep, for the wing, I guess.
Probably. And, well, that seems to be probably almost race over for these two because they're going to be changing wing. Oh, a 5 second stop go penalty as well for Sushi over there. Probably that's why he is pitting under the safety car itself to serve that penalty.
Yep.
Well, good for him. And up ahead, we have Lunatics who was fighting for P3 with Jamin, but then it went very close. Just as he was going to make that move into the stadium section, the safety car came out, and that has put him back at P4. 9 second
Yeah.
penalties for P3 and P4 at the moment.
But if you look at it, Dill's got 12 seconds, which means that if Lunatic can stay close enough, he might actually be able to get P3 without overtaking anybody. But then we of course have Dan Walker and Owen without any penalties, and that is going to be absolutely insane. John Meister really needs to keep it clean and have at least 3 seconds to Walker and Owen. Otherwise, he is not going to win this race. Of course, unless Walker and Owen gets penalized as well.
Absolutely. In the previous safety car restart, I'm not sure if the drivers are aware of the fact that going too close to the safety car at the safety car restart, when it gives you the message a safety car is in this lap, if you're too close to the safety car before it enters the pits, it gives you a massive throttle cut, and that can cause a multiple car pile up on the start finish straight because drivers behind will not expect it, and the drivers ahead, like probably P1, 2, and 3, will probably have a throttle cut and probably end up causing a huge pileup of drivers behind.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we saw at was it Mugello
Mugello, yes, real life
2020,
racing.
right?
It was on the real life F1 calendar, Mugello, where
That was
Bottas went for it.
and then he slowed down again, and that that made some chaos basically,
Yeah, I
because
think it
when
was.
everybody accelerates and suddenly brakes again, nobody, not everybody can basically react to that.
Yeah,
So
it's just too quick. The
bound to
reaction
happen.
times are too small, too short to expect even
Yeah,
from an F1 driver. So that's basically no time at all.
these guys have crazy reaction times. F1 drivers, of course, but no one could avoid that, and that's what you do risk happening if you get too close to the safety car, as you say here.
Well, the field has bunched up. We are ready to go racing. I'm expecting the safety car to go in this lap, and as I
Yep.
say that, the game confirms it. We will have some extensive weaving. Everyone's on brand new tires. We'll just have 2 laps of racing now, and that's gonna be a sprint race. Everyone will be doing proper laps, wheel to wheel, sending it down the inside, probably around the
Yep.
outside with some ballsy moves. John Moore just slowing down as much as he can, backing up the field, causing some chaos, and then he's gone for
Oh,
it
that is
already.
a great
Oh,
start. Still doesn't get anything at all. I don't know what happened there. He lost a lot of time. Yellow flag was cleared. She was straight ahead. Uh, Lunatic really close to Diller, 3/10. And we see Owen getting past and Walker here as well. And the two Haas cars are just in P4 and P5 actually. Owen at this, as it seems now, he's going to get P3, um, maybe even P2, right? Yeah, P2, I guess. Yeah. So this is going to be really exciting. Owen obviously trying to keep it clean, not getting any penalties or any damage to the wing or anything, and just trying to keep the pace up with Lunatic, not falling back too much, because he wants to take advantage of his clean racing, of course. see them coming down into the stadium section here. We have John Meister already 1.5 seconds ahead of Jamaja. Really doing a great job. We have a yellow flag. That's is it redemption of Floximinus. Is Floximinus, yep. That is unfortunate. His front wing seems to be intact. Might have just been a spin. So yep, really annoying for him. But well, nothing he can do about it now. He just gotta keep his head down and do this last lap.
Well, as I should point out that the battle, oh, there Lunatic's getting a little squirmy on the exit. This is not going to help his teammate because he's having to stay behind. He's basically trying to help Lunatic stay ahead and get a move on Jarman because Jarman seems to be fighting for position with Dil. Dil is definitely dropping down the order with those 12 seconds of penalties, and he's probably going to go down to P9 or 10, P10 probably with the 12 seconds of penalties at the moment. But considering the fact that Owen right now is 4 seconds behind the leader, that's John Meister, he's going to get only a P2 at the moment, and that's a brilliant drive from him at the moment. And we are going to be on board John Meister, who's going through the final 3 corners. We can hear the fireworks in game, and around the final corner he goes, getting a well-deserved first position, a win in Mexico, and Dil comes a close second place. Because Owen, as we expected, goes P2. Both the Haas drivers going side by side, trying to give us a formation over there as we can get it on stream if possible. Beautiful drive from them. Lunatics lose a lot of positions because of the 9-second penalties.
He got a 3-second penalty extra in the end, actually, so he ended up with 12 seconds as well. That's why
Ah.
he ended up
Well, that's helped only
last lap.
one person, and that's Dan Walker to get P3 because both these drivers, that is Owen and Walker, had no penalties. And that's going to be a beautiful result for both of them because they just kept it clean. And you can see over there, keeping your penalties under check in this game helps you a lot because it gives you a lot of positions, considering the fact that the track is known for having tight track limits, and through the S's trying to go maximum pace, you'll end up having some track limit warnings and probably lose some positions due to that after the race. Well, let's race over. We have our winner of the race for the Ferrari, John Meister, who came P1 with a brilliant race. Had some tantrums thrown at him, had some obstacles thrown at him, but handled them beautifully. Both the safety car restarts. Pretty surprising how he took the first one, but the second one was fine. And he caught Jensen by surprise, which dropped him to P5. Owen P3, P2 for the Haas boys. Dan Walker gets a P3 for the Aston Martin. Started P13 and 12, both these drivers, and they've come up to P2 and 3. Yaman P4, Jensen P5, Dil P6, Lunatics P7, Sushi P8, UP P9, Animus P10, and that's your top 10 for the race. We have Arrows, Alligator, Redemption, Brandon, and T for Real, who finished the rest of the grid. Well, that was an exciting race, I must say. What about you? What do you think, Alfred?
I really enjoyed it, honestly. Those safety cars played a big part in the final results, of course. Some interesting strategies around the field, but I think it was a well-deserved win in the end. Of course, just they just drove a brilliant race. Of course, as you said, they did have some obstacles thrown at them, but in the end, better pace and better strategy won the race in the Ferrari. So I gotta say congratulations, and I hope we will be back next week with a race that's going to be just as exciting. So if you're watching this, you definitely are going to watch the next one as well. So remember to tune in next Monday at pretty sure the same time, right?
Yep, pretty sure the same time. 8 p.m. BST.
Exactly.
All right then. That's all from us. Good night, everyone, and have a good week.